This is the LA7 laminated Archtop 7-string, very creative name. And this is the last one. We're actually switching all the models. I had made a paper. Sorry, I'm jet lagged. I just got back from Thailand. I'm still tired, but basically I had a lot of time to think over there. And I got some really good advice from a customer about kind of streamlining things, and it all made a lot of sense. So right now I've got all these models, all these colors, all these options, and you know, I had to disable online ordering. It was just it was kind of getting away from me, and so I'm going to streamline. Like this is the only Archtop I'm going to do. All the master Archtops are going to be discontinued. You can still do them by custom order, but I'm not even going to advertise that. I mean, I'm saying it, but it's not even going to be on the website. This guitar is insane. Again, this is the last one. We're going to do only natural finish, satin finish. This is a nice, like a cherry burst gloss finish. This one already sold, so it's got the nice black Sperzels, black hardware. Serial number 1301033. God, this thing just plays great. I got flats on here, 11 gauge. Whoa! Rusty, man. What else did I want to say? Sorry, I'm so tired. Talked about the guitar. Oh, I want to talk about teaching too, because I realized after, Jesus, like 25 years of teaching, I've always been really into teaching. That's like my thing. You know, when I teach somebody, I want to freaking teach them. You know, I just don't want to be like, all right, here's a 2-5 line. Put your pinky on the 5th fret, then your index finger, and then, you know, like, I don't like doing that. I like to teach people exactly what's happening so then they can teach themselves, you know. But I found that people don't want that. They want licks. They want you to kind of spoon feed them lines. And I don't mean to, I don't want to sound like I'm being negative about that. It makes a lot of sense. You know, if someone sees me on a gig and likes the way I play, and then they come and see me and they say, oh my God, what were you doing over that tune? And I can either show them exact lines, which is what they want, or I can teach them how to make their own lines, which is what I've been doing. But that's got some, that kind of makes things difficult for them, because I'll be like, oh yeah, well, you know, it's just a 2-5 in the key of C, so on the D I might do like a chromatic approach thing over the D minor 7 arpeggio, and then over the G I might do a G altered thing again, maybe with a triad pair thing from A flat melodic minor, and then I'll do a C Lydian, and of course I'll explain it better than that, but it kind of leaves them with a bunch of information and not so much in the area of execution, you know what I mean? So even my teaching, the guitars are all changing, becoming more streamlined. The way I teach is also going to be more streamlined. It's going to be very specific. All right, we're going to work on this tune. I'm going to give, again, what I would tell them, if they were working on Autumn Leaves, I'd say, all right, the song goes like this, you know. Oh, wrong key. And I'd say, all right, learn your drop 2s, learn your drop 3s, and then practice this, 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 and this. And that, it seems asinine to me now that I was doing this, because I was just making way too much work for my students. Because that's how I was. I was self-taught, and I just did all this work. I mean, even in high school, I'd sit there and just write shit on paper all day, write out scale shapes with chords, and compare like what notes from that scale worked in the chord, and like, people aren't generally like that. So rather than do that, I'll be like, all right, for the C minor 7, we're gonna do this one. Then we'll do this chord, then we'll do this chord. this chord, then we'll do this A minor 7 flat 5, this D7 altered to this G minor 6. You know, I'll give them exact voicings, and to be honest, that's better for me. It's easier for me. It takes far less preparation, and it puts them in a situation where we can do a more consistent thing. When I just kind of open the floodgates and try to teach them everything about everything in 1 or 2 lessons, I mean, that kind of fucks me. You know what I mean? It's much more lucrative to be like, all right, and then next week we're going to work on drop 3s, and then the next week, and I'm telling you, man, I know guys who's, I'm not going to mention their names because it's going to sound like I'm trashing them, but I'm not. Some of the best New England teachers, and I got one guy was charging $100 for it. It was less than an hour. It was like 45 minutes, I think, and which was commonplace. You know, $50 a half hour, that type of rate, which is a lot of money, especially when you're going every week, you know, and you're driving to Boston. You know, you're coming from Connecticut or Rhode Island or New Hampshire or even New York, coming to Boston, you know, for your lesson every week or every other week. It's pretty pricey, and these guys would just be like, they'd assign you a transcription. All right, transcribe this Bill Evans solo. Okay. All right, this week we're gonna work on comping, and there would be a very specific thing with comping, and that's what they would work on during the lesson. Then the next week they'd work on comping again, months and months and months, and that could go for anything. That could go for like triad pairs or like, you know, chromaticism, like chromatic approach things, and they wouldn't teach the method behind it, and it kind of infuriated me. I'm like, dude, like, I remember people coming back, my friend coming back from his lesson and saying, oh, we just did this today. And I was like, yeah, what's the big deal? It's fucking melodic minor, you know? If I play an A minor, right, and I'm teaching somebody, oh, so we're going to play D7 sharp 11 over A minor. You know, or C major 7 sharp 5. Just melodic minor, you're just focusing on a different chord, which is a cool thing to do, but rather than do one chord 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and then switch the chord 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, blah, blah, blah. Next you know, you spend 6 months, and the entire concept was simply playing melodic minor and focusing on different chords within that scale. But those are the guys making the money. Those are the guys, like, people love and keep, you know, they've got freaking backlogs of students. So, despite my wanting to be more thorough, that's how I'm going to do it. And same thing with the guitars, you know, it's all about, you know, I need to start thinking in terms of a business, which I've never done before. It was just like what I wanted to do, what I thought was cool, what I thought people might like. But now it's like, all right, I need to streamline. I need to stop, like, selling guitars at a loss because, like, nobody wants them because I thought it was a cool idea. And, you know, like, these things are great. I mean, the intonation, like I started off, I think I did some, what was that, in the key of C? But, like, you know, if you play... The intonation is great. It's super even. The setup is great. You can easily play way up here. If I can. And, you know, sounds great. Of course, down here, the action at the first fret's low enough so you can bar it with your pinky at the first fret, and you know, the setup is just nice. The tone on these things is ridiculous. It's got the Sperzels. I have one in tobacco with black hardware, and I think one in this same color with gold hardware. That's it. Then we're going to make the switch. But I actually, that's the whole point. I wasn't going to say anything. I wanted to just play this guitar for the customer, so I could, you know, show them how it plays. But that's kind of what's going on. I'll be doing more videos, kind of more straightforward, more, for lack of a better term, spoon-fed, you know, easy. This is the lick. This is what it goes over. And it's up to you, you know. Again, I was kind of overdoing it in the past, kind of trying to show how everything worked all the time. And if you want to know that, you can take whatever phrases or lines I give you and manipulate them and analyze them, and that's kind of how I learned anyway. So, despite it seeming sort of cheesy for me to teach like that, it's actually, I think, more effective. And it's taken me a couple of decades to kind of come to terms with that. So, change is good, baby. Alright, I gotta go have some coffee and some ephedrine. Pill popping.